David here with Figboot on Pens, back again with another fountain pen review. Today I have for you a limited edition pen from Opus 88, which is only available through the Italian retailer Stilo in Stile. That pen is the Opus 88 Demonstrator. What I'm going to do today is go over the parts and features of this pen, talk about what I care for and what I don't care for about it. I'll show some measurements, size comparisons, and provide a writing sample. Thanks go out to Stilo in Stile for providing this pen for review. Stilo in Stile is a retailer based out of Rome, Italy. I actually became aware of them a while back when they were offering an exclusive Leonardo pen that I couldn't resist, and I purchased. I've shown that pen a couple of times, but I'll show it again during the size comparisons. It's one of my favorite purchases of the year. I just love it. The company is partnered with Opus 88 for this limited edition model. There will be a total of 350 pieces. The first batch of 80 have sold out, and now they are on their second batch. The pen arrives in this box. It has a custom sleeve that has the company name and it says Demonstrator fountain pen. Then underneath we have the standard Opus 88 box. The lid has a magnetic closure, and then inside we have a couple of things. We have a standard use and care guide. Then there is a glass eyedropper, which I'll show you a little bit later. And then we have the pen. This is the Opus 88 Demonstrator. Opus 88 is a Taiwanese brand. I've reviewed a number of their pens previously and have really enjoyed them. They make some quality, reasonably priced fountain pens. This pen is made with a custom exclusive translucent acrylic with ribbons of green and white and black. The combination is interesting. I feel it's the right amount of ribboning as well. Too much, and the pen looks a little busy. And not enough, and you think, why even bother? With this custom material, the ribboning is going to be different on every pen produced. Let's take a look at the cap. The end is flat with a slightly rounded edge. This transitions into a clip band. Since the clip band is black like the finial, you hardly even see it. And then we have the clip. I feel it's size appropriate for the pen, and it works well in materials of varying thicknesses. At the end of the cap, on one side, it says Stilo in Stile. I will say that with the text of this company logo being so thin set against the background of the cap threads, while it shows up fine here in this picture, with the naked eye, it's a little tough to make out. At least it is for me. And then on the opposite side, it says Opus 88. Now, this is rather random, but the logo here on the pen I have has some black ribboning on the black logo, which gives it a bit of a kind of sliced up look. Now, I said here before, the ribboning is going to be different on every pen, so this was more of a random happenstance. There is a medium-sized angled step down to the barrel, which is straight until about this point, where it tapers down just slightly. Then at the end of the pen is a piston knob. The top of that knob is flat with a rounded edge and is engraved with the number of the pen. The current batch of this pen is numbered 80 through 160. I was asked what number I would like. My favorite number is 11, and since that wasn't available, I thought it'd be cool to have number 88 of an Opus 88 pen. Plus, 11 is a factor of 88, so that's a bonus. In the comments below, let me know if you were given the choice of a number between 80 and 160, what would you choose and why? The cap twists off in 4 full rotations, which is a bit much, but common for the Opus 88 brand. And underneath, we have a number 6 Jowo stainless steel nib. The nib is engraved with the Stilo in Stile logo. Like the lettering on the brand, this engraving is very thin, and while it shows up okay here on camera, with the naked eye, it's a bit hard to see. Maybe it's just my old eyes. The nib is available in extra fine, fine, medium, broad, and a 1.5 stub. They do offer replacement nib units as well if you'd care to have an additional nib option for your pen. And here's a look at the plastic feed. The section begins with a rounded flare and then angles up slightly until you reach the cap threads and a small step up to the remainder of the barrel. This is a decent sized pen. It is plenty long enough to use unposted, and I find it very comfortable in the hand. The section is long enough to accommodate a variety of grip styles, and if your grip should happen to rest on the threads, I don't find them to be sharp or uncomfortable at all. The cap will not post by design. While the cap is light, with this rather long pen, I'm not sure you'd even want to if you could. Okay, let's get to this filling system. It is a traditional Japanese style eyedropper. In order to fill the pen, you unscrew the section and you use the included eyedropper to fill up the barrel with the ink. I'll go ahead and show you how to do that during the writing sample. You can see inside here that there is a plunger rod in there. There are 2 ink chambers in this pen, and that plunger creates a seal between the 2 of them. There's the forward chamber in the section and the larger chamber here in the barrel. When you are writing and you run out of ink, you can simply unscrew the plunger in order to crack the seal between the 2 chambers and ink can flow between them. Or some folks simply crack the seal whenever they are using the pen to have that continuous flow. You can find this Opus 88 model exclusively on the Stilo & Stile website or in their physical store, if you happen to find yourself in Rome. And it sells for 109 euros or 89 euros without the VAT, which equates to around $105. An added bonus is that they offer free worldwide shipping on orders of over 69 euros, which this pen is. The standard Opus 88 demonstrator models retail for around $120 in the US. You tack on shipping to that and take everything else into account, the all-inclusive price for this pen is very reasonable. I know that was a lot of math. The bottom line is the material is unique. I like the looks of the ribboning, and the Opus 88 makes some very good, reasonably priced pens. They're a good value for the money. Okay, now it is time for some measurements, size comparisons, and I'll show you how to ink this pen up and a writing sample. Here we go with some size comparisons for the Opus 88 Demonstrator. In regard to another Opus 88 model, here it is with the Coloro. Then here it is with a Lamy All-Star. And here it is with a pen that's going to be reviewed here in the next few weeks, which is a Conklin Mark Twain, and this one is in the gunmetal finish. In regard to a couple of other pens, here is a clear Opus 88 Demonstrator in black. This is a TWSBI VAX 700. And then finally, I mentioned that I would show the Leonardo. This is the Leonardo Momento Zero Frosted, which was an exclusive offering from Stilo & Stile. I believe there was 100 units available, and unfortunately those are all gone, but it's a model that I care for greatly. In regard to some uncapped comparisons, this is what it looks like with the VAX 700. Then we have the Opus 88 Coloro. And finally, here is that Leonardo Momento Zero Frosted. Okay, I wanted to show you how to ink this pen up. First of all, what you're going to want to do is unscrew the section. And you can see here that there is an O-ring that helps with that seal. You're then going to take your favorite ink. One of my favorite inks right now is Stilo & Stile's Roman Bronze Oxidation. It's just a really nice color you'll see here in a minute. But you take that eyedropper. Now, when you receive the eyedropper, the glass is actually inserted rather deep into the plunger, so you want to pull that out. And then all you do is you take the barrel, and you can see the plunger there in the barrel. You can move it down if you'd like, but there is plenty of room to go around it. So let's go ahead and just fill this up. And then we'll go ahead and we won't fill it too much. We'll just give it one big filling here. Set this aside. And then screw on the section and make sure that you get it plenty tight. There you go. Now you can see the ink sloshing around in there, and it makes for a good match with this green and white ribboning here. So here we go with the writing sample for the Opus 88 Demonstrator. This is a broad stainless steel nib, and the ink, as I mentioned before, is the Stilo and Stile. Roman bronze oxidation. This is what the ink looks like. It's a really nice blue-green with some decent shading. Then this is what it looks like with a brand new ink from Leonardo, the Smeraldo, which is emerald in Italian. And here it is with Colorverse Photon. And here we go with the rest of the writing sample. This broad nib is very wet and very generous. It isn't super smooth. There is a touch of feedback to it. You're not going to get a lot of line variation out of here, but as I mentioned, the ink flow is rather generous from it. In regard to reverse writing, it's fairly smooth. And in regard to some fast writing, there's no issue with the feed keeping up at all. So there we have the Opus 88 Demonstrator, the exclusive offering from Stilo and Stile. It's a very interesting offering. I think it's reasonably priced, and I'd strongly recommend you check it out on the Stilo and Stile site. I'll put a link to it in the notes below. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.